are a month in, and well, we're back, baby. How you doing,
Week
Justin?
4.
4-0.
I'm doing ready. Alex, are you ready? This is podcast week. I don't know if you've been looking ahead. Oh shit. Everybody ignore that. That auto played. But Alex, you and me this week.
Yes, and the fantasy gods have been kind to me. Where you might be in a jam of a running back situation, and I need it. But we're a month into this thing. Let's take a look at the landscape of the league. So let's start with the top.
Yep.
Where the gods are. We have what is it? 3 people that are 4-0.
3-4-0 teams.
And then Josh is 3-1, but he's very respectable in terms of points scored in a team. So obviously, I know you're biased towards your own team. Do you think that you have the best team? Who do you think has the best team? Give me the breakdown.
I've said since the very, very beginning that Logan's team scares me the most, just because his best players are receivers, and receivers can go nuclear. Obviously, I've got the two-headed monster at running back, but I mean, unless case in point this week, Josh Allen, he's had 2 absolute stinky weeks. But I'm very happy to be near the top. I will just say I have had to fight off some serious competition the last couple weeks.
Dude, nail biter last night. Whoa, that was fun. That game was fun.
It was crazy that he had Amon-Ra, which you're never comfortable going against Amon-Ra. And then at the same time, as soon as Amon-Ra's off the field and I get a chance to breathe, fucking here's Geno Smith and Jackson Smith-Njigba just.
Yep. He had so much stock last night.
Annie was worried for me last night, watching me just absolutely lose my mind. Not a whole lot of fun. But I'm very excited to be 4-0. I think you're right. This week I'm especially vulnerable. We'll see. I've
got a shot, I think, at least, with Saquon out, and JT, I think, is going to miss. But before we lose the landscape of the league, I think my favorite right now, maybe this is recency bias because he was the highest scorer, but I like Josh's squad. It's a hodgepodge squad. Teams. But I mean, Alvin Kamara, PPR monster. Deontay with Andy Dalton at the helm is going to be a problem. CD maybe should have been the number 1 overall with disappointment on the other positions. Devontae, if he gets traded, probably a problem, right? And then Kenneth Walker, woo! Did you see his last night performance?
Oh yeah, believe
God damn! So he's got a squad too. I agree. There are 4 just really good teams. So then we have a couple people that are 2-2. Just CJ and Matt, only those 2. And then, do you see this sea of 1 and 3 that we're working with?
It's gross. It's awfully gross. Mathematically, it doesn't look like this should happen, but.
No, but this as a message to anyone that's 1 and 3 that's still hanging on and listening to this is wide open. You are 1 game back from the 5th seed. So there is still so much football left.
We said 500 will make the playoffs. Right now, 500 gets you the 6th seed. So
That's right. So much season left. Anyways, we're a month in. Let's talk a little bit about injuries. Obviously, our boy Austin kind of got the shit into the stick here.
The hits just keep coming for Austin.
Oh, man. I mean, Chris had mentioned on Sunday, I was hanging out with him after golf, and he was saying that, you keep talking on the podcast about how, Ramondre was the steal of the 5th. He was like, no. I mean, Rashee Rice was the steal of the 5th. Yeah. And I agree with him. I mean, he really was. He was, I think, the wide receiver 4 on the year. And then just on a freak accident, ACL bends backwards. This poor guy is swimming. I mean, he's just treading water for anything he can get. Because I think he made some pretty good trades last week, don't you?
Did you see Yeah, I did. Did you see the name change? I mean, he made the trades. We may have our first checkout already at week 4. And I can't necessarily say I blame him, but he's going with the 08 Lions as his team name now.
I saw that, and I didn't start watching football personally till around 2014-ish, except for the Cowboys. So I need a little history check on that. Did the 08 Lions go completely defeated?
Completely defeated. Dan Orlovsky running out of the back of the end zone for safeties. I'm sure you've seen that clip a million times.
Probably.
It was truly dreadful. The first team to go winless in a very long time. I don't know. Austin, don't call your shot like that. You might fuck around and win a couple games here.
We have so much season left, man. And the good news is I know that guy, he will not be checking out. He's going to do whatever he can to scratch and claw his way into a one of those middle sections where he's not playing for the Sacco, which he's only one game out. So we'll just have to see. And there's people projected a lot lower than him this week. All right, other notable injuries. What else we got, Justin?
So this week we've got so there's a couple, obviously Rashee Rice, obviously Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor getting treated for a couple things. JT's not expected to miss. Anthony Richardson, he is on Austin's team. I'm sure right now he is just, if Anthony Richardson was to be ruled out for the year, Austin would probably be happy about it, just so he doesn't have to worry about sitting a guy like that. Fucking crazy. Christian Watson got hurt, might miss at least a week or so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Taysom Hill got banged up. Russell Wilson's supposed to be back this week. Let's see. Who else? Bijan Robinson, estimated limited participant at practice. Will Levis. Will Levis got hurt. Not that that affects anybody. But real quick, let's just talk about the upside of injuries, because there's guys like, I don't know, Nick Chubb, who might be coming back this week.
Seems like a pretty biased excitement, but yeah, Nick Chubb might get back. But leading that into this week, it's actually, I think, the first time this year we have an exciting waiver week. And as a guy that blew his load on Carson Steele, I wish I could be in the mix, but I'm not. Yep. So I think every position except for tight end has a pretty decent waiver. So who's going to be the big pickup this week?
So this week, I think if you're looking at wide receivers, I think it's it's weird because obviously there are people that I'm interested in picking up. I don't know necessarily that they are the number one in everyone's waiver, but like Josh Downs. Josh Downs, I think, should be, if Joe Flacco continues to be the starting quarterback of the Colts, a guy like Josh Downs is going to get some serious work, because he is just that. Within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, the guy that Anthony Richardson literally couldn't complete a pass to him. Now, all of a sudden, he's the check down option for Joe Flacco. Josh Downs is who I am personally investing the most in this week.
Okay. I think that the two big ones are going to be Justin Fields for a quarterback in these teams. He looks like he's keeping a job, and he is so far quarterback 8 on the year. So I think we'll see some coin spent on him. And then with the Christian Watson injury, Dontavian Wicks is going to get some coins spent on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you put the over under at?
Dontavian Wicks is not a guy that I've necessarily thought about a whole lot. I don't know if any of these guys go for more than 30. It would be fucking crazy. The only people you spend more than that on is a running back who all of a sudden got a starting job. That's the only person who should go for more than that.
And how much are you going to spend on Trey Sermon?
0. Trey Sermon.
Really?
Why would I do that? JT's not going to miss a week.
JT's got a high ankle sprain. He's totally going to miss a week.
He played he gave an interview at the end of the game. He said he felt fine. He feels fine.
Yeah. But you can play on it like as soon as it's injured, but then it swells up and you're fucked.
He's not fucked, though. He's going to play.
So
0 is what I'm spending on Trey Sermon.
Okay. Any other notable pickups that you see?
It looks like right now the big projections that are out there is Colby Parkinson, tight end for the Rams. That might be the tight end you were talking about. Gabe Davis, Keon Coleman, 2 guys that were drafted and not particularly late. I think they were probably both like 10th, 11th round picks. Both already dropped to waivers, probably rightfully so. Taysom Hill, man, you hate to be Josh. Josh dropped 174. If only he would have played Taysom Hill this last week.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that'll be interesting. I'm guessing the most expensive player will be Fields, but we'll have to just wait and see.
I always disregard quarterbacks. I go straight to flex when I look at waivers, but you're right. I should have thought of that.
And then we also had some pretty notable trades last week. So let's break down some of those. Obviously, Austin was having to make some roster moves. So he traded Mike Evans to me for Jaden Daniels and Zach Moss. Any thoughts on that one?
So I like your side of that, obviously, but that's only because Jaden Daniels, like you cashed in on Jaden Daniels. Good for you.
He's also looking like, I mean, I kind of rather have him than Kyler. Maybe he looks good.
I don't know. I think if you can turn a Jaden Daniels into a startable position player, which is exactly what you did, I think you made out pretty well. I think if you are Josh, who traded away Terry McLaurin and Jonathan Brooks, I think you're kicking yourself after the news on Christian McCaffrey that just came out today.
Right.
And man, I don't know if anybody won the Chris CJ trade. Like, they're both gross.
I lean CJ just because I do think Tua comes back. And Garrett Wilson has been so disappointing. But yeah, that's kind of just a messy one. First round bust across the board, at least 4 weeks in. Okay, I think that covers all of our trades. That covers waivers. We can go ahead and start looking at last week. So we have our lowest scorer, unfortunately, which was Chris. He dropped a very underwhelming 85. So for some reason, former President Donald Trump sent us a little clip of how he feels about Chris and Chris's ownership and that style. So go ahead and play that
speech. Here you are.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime.
We know that.
They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people.
Some are good.
Can you imagine? Some are good.
But some are rapists, and that's not what you want.
Yikes. Some of them bring drugs.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Chris. Bailed us out on draft weekend.
And then Josh with a very respectable 175.
Disgusting 175. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big number.
So anyways, congratulations, Josh. Hit it.
Big week, Josh. All right. I mean, this is Josh's second week as the highest scorer, right?
It is. Yeah. He has half of them 4 weeks in. So Josh is rolling. His team looks good.
Stud.
Just to talk about that trade CMC did. I mean, he really gave up crumbs. I mean, to think that if you draft CMC 1 overall and 4 weeks in, you have to trade him for Terry McLaurin and who's that running back for the Panthers?
Jonathan Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks, who could be a stud. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But man, that's wild. Poor Austin, but Josh got his insurance policy just in case he comes back right in time for playoffs. So good shit, Josh. All right. Anything else, Justin, before we go into last week's matchups?
No, man, I'm ready to go. Where do you want to get things kick-started? What's our first matchup?
Well, I'll go ahead and take the first one, I suppose. I will take let's see. Let's do Nathan versus Josh. We'll just go right back at the back of Josh. So I already kind of touched on Josh's team a little bit whenever I was praising him in the current state of the league. But like I said, he's got a squad. I mean, your rule is always players that score over 20. How many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when that sixth one dropped 33. So
yeah.
He doesn't need a tight end. Doesn't matter that the Ravens tight ends are ass. I mean, the Trey Tucker start was even smart on Josh's part. That's what I love about that second flex start. Is it takes a little bit of digging, a little bit of skill, and it was a great spot start. And then you got to feel bad for Nathan. 141 with an L. Oof. I mean, that's absolutely brutal. Your bright side is hopefully AR misses some time. The reports I'm seeing is he won't.
I was thinking the exact same thing. How sad that your bright spot is hopefully Anthony Richardson doesn't fucking play.
Yeah, because Michael Pittman's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Justin Jefferson has proven that he shouldn't have fallen as far as he did. He's great. Mm-hmm. And then Nathan with, just 2, no way you feel good about him starts with Chase Brown and Justice Hill. Like you must have been expecting a total of 15 points between those 2 guys. and then boom, you got fucking 45.
Yep.
So, great week by Nathan. You just walked into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, that's really all that happened here. I mean, you look at Josh's side. I mean, how do you help but be envious of this team? Like, I wish I had that guy. I wish I had that guy. I wish I was smart enough to go get Jordan Mason. Man, I wish I was high enough to take CeeDee Lamb. It's just top to bottom, great fucking team. Love it. Make Kamara great again. Still fucking hate the name, but
hate the name. I do hate the name.
Okay, but let's say he wins a chip with this is not a chip winning name. You got to change this name.
Last year when I won my chip, everyone hated the good old Home Depot. And it was a chip winning name, my man.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's more about the winning the chip than it is the name. All right. Well, I will go ahead and I'll take the next matchup. I'm looking at Chris versus Trenton.
Yep.
Man, Chris at the beginning of the year had to have felt really, really good about the team that he had assembled. Not anymore. This team is not showing up, not performing. A couple weeks in a row, dropping to 1-3. And on the other side, I mean, Trenton had a good week. I mean, Blake Neighbors is turning out to be a huge steal where he got him. I think he was a third rounder. Tony Pollard has been a gem. Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously doing Jahmyr Gibbs things. Wish I could have had him, but man, Patty doesn't show up and you still manage to win by 60 points. It's a pretty good week.
Yep. Nope. Trenton's got some really solid players around, some good flex options with high upside. And then on Chris's side, yeah, obviously Jalen Hurts missing his weapons. Once they get back, you got to think that maybe he'll get back to that elite fantasy quarterback tier. Do you drop Mark Andrews?
No, only because what are you going to go get? Like, are you going to go get Kraft for the Packers? I guess you could get him. I'm willing to bet you could probably still trade Mark Andrews. You could probably, maybe not.
Without looking, what tight end do you think he is on the year?
75th.
No, not that bad, but 39th,
okay.
Which in the tight end landscape. 2 gooses in a row, man. I mean, over the first month, 3.4, 9.1, 0, 0.
Yeah, and had a big fucking drop last night. Or
that was bad. Yeah, that was bad. Is one bright spot Jaden Reed, or what's his name?
Yeah, but it's you mentioned Dontavian Wicks earlier. I don't know that you're not going to be able to pick which Packers wide receiver has a good week. You're just not. It's going to be so unpredictable. I mean, Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed both had good games this week, which is not going to happen all the time.
They were
Christian
down 20-0.
Being down may help that a lot. But, yes, a bright spot this week, but I don't know that you're looking at Jaden Reed like, man, that's my fucking wide receiver 1. Which, by the way, he was his wide receiver. Well, I guess Garrett Wilson's his wide receiver 1, but.
And then obviously Tua getting injured just tanked all the stock he had in the Dolphins. So then he was forced to move from Tyreek to, and then he had to start 2 San Fran wide receivers. So not ideal. Okay, next matchup, we'll go ahead and take it. It was Austin 0-4, the 08 Lions versus Brandon, who has now changed his team name to Oh Yeah, which I would think that you should make your picture the Kool-Aid Man if you're going to go that way. But
no, it's Stone Cold.
Yeah, but I like Kool-Aid Man better.
Okay, that's fine.
But he had a good week. He dropped 138. He finally got his first win. This was the battle of the 0-3s. Derrick Henry with just an absolute monster performance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really just love the Dallas Cowboys organization for, Derrick Henry wanting to play here and us not even working him out. Because
it's crazy how fast that has come back to bite Jerry Jones. Like, Jerry Jones should have kept his fucking mouth shut and not said like, oh, we couldn't get him. We couldn't afford him. It's like, oh, well, probably should have made something happen there.
Yeah. You got a good game from Stroud, which we talked about last week. It's going to be hit or miss with him, but obviously it hit and it worked out well this week. And then Kelsey may be the biggest benefactor from this Rice injury just because they fucking need him now. They have no one else to throw the ball to. I mean, it's Xavier Worthy.
That's not true.
Okay, I understand. But he's a rookie, and his points are still coming from like broken plays or deep passes.
Right.
Like just to move the chains, they're going to need Travis Kelsey because I've yet to see Xavier Worthy be elite on the slant routes and on the the hitches, whatever it is.
So I didn't see this guy on the waiver report. Is somebody rostering Juju?
God, I hope not.
Because now somebody should absolutely be rostering Juju because he's going to run all those same routes Rashee Rice did. He might not be as good, but he's going to get as many targets as Rashee Rice got.
Not only the ball stays in his hands, he's a drop fest, that guy. I don't know. I'll let you take him. And then Austin made some trades. They worked out. Jaden Daniels, 26.02. He looks great. Zach Moss had a receiving touchdown. Obviously, Rashee Rice getting injured killed him.
Tough.
Another down game from Bowers. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But he also traded for Terry. He gave him 18.2. So he's got a little stack there. Obviously, this team is in shambles. He's struggling. He's dealing with the big old injury bug. But wasn't the lowest scorer. So that's something.
Keep your head up.
Anything else you want to touch on here?
No, I think we're good. I think this just another domination. Speaking of a game that was a little closer, we are looking at the Hard Knocks versus Testicles matchup of some of the league's best names. Matt ended up taking this one 118 to basically 100. He finally got a decent game from Joe Burrow. I know it's only 20 points, but man, you're excited to see 20 points out of Joe Burrow. Brian Robinson showed up. Jordan Addison's a guy I'd love to go get. If Matt, if you're listening here, talk to me. I love the way Jordan Addison looks. He is finding the football everywhere. Kyle Pitts with a goose egg. Speaking of tight end goose eggs. But hey, he got enough. He had Xavier Legette show up with Adam Thielen going down. All of a sudden, Xavier Legette's going to get a lot more work in this offense, and it's a competent offense with Andy Dalton. On the other side, Baker showed up, and that's just about it. Like, David Montgomery had a fine game, and Pat Freiermuth balled out. But aside from that, getting 5.8 from your RB2 and then a combined 10.2 points from your starting wide receivers, the fact that he scored 99 is impressive. Not a great week from CJ's side at all. Baker did a lot of heavy lifting to get him to that score, but Matt pulled it out when he had to.
Yeah, like you mentioned, getting beat by Addison and Legette like that has just got to feel like a huge kick to the groin. And then CJ's really stuck in this Bucky Irving, Rashad White hell. What do you do? What is the solution for that problem? I mean, other than praying that one gets injured.
Well, they're not getting enough work to start both. Like, there's been some situations in the past where maybe you considered, like, if you started Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, you're probably
That'd
okay.
be fine.
This is not that situation. This is, they're both going to be middling or one of them's going to go off. And it looks to me like Bucky Irving's going to be the guy to go off more often than not. So,
God, it's a mess. And then you have Matt has Devontae Smith and Tank Dell that missed this game. So, and TJ Hawkinson on IR, who's coming back soon. So Matt's got some upside. Yeah, Matt's got some upside, especially with Kyle Pitts dropping a goose.
Stinky goose.
Stinky goose. All right, then I'll get to the closest matchup of the week.
How fun was this game?
Oh my gosh. And obviously I was rooting for Michael.
Sure.
Just I like a good old underdog, And the fact that he was actually coming back was really fun.
So do you remember the situation pre-game?
No, not really.
So I was up 127 to like 89. So I had like it was like a 50, it might have been 79 because I had about a 50-point cushion. And boy, oh boy, did that 50 points seem to go away awfully quick. I don't win this without Jameson Williams. Like, Jameson Williams is the whole point I won this game.
Oh, for sure. That touchdown. Yep. I mean, really, the reason you won this game was DeAndre Swift, which has to be frustrating for Mike. God, how did he drop 29? How many receptions? Seven receptions?
Good game. That's what we've been looking for all fucking year. And it finally, thank God I kept starting him.
Yeah, I guess so. Michael had a great week. It's a shame he lost. In the tight end landscape, you're happy that Kincaid gave you that. Obviously, the 49ers defense showing up. The Amon-Ra receiving touchdown. Good time. On your end, once again, DeAndre Swift showed up. Did you see that Kittle touchdown, by the way?
I didn't see it live. I saw a replay of it. It was fucking nuts.
Dude, he threw it into triple coverage, and Kittle's big ass just went up there and got it. It was just a grown man play. And as an Ayuk owner, when I saw Ayuk with the one-on-one matchup, I was like, okay, finally, I'm going to get the touchdown. Nope, triple coverage, Kittle, he gets the touchdown. So,
No, sure.
anyway, congratulations to you there. Stephon continues to be good. He's finding the end zone.
So Josh Allen, is it time to start talking about Josh Allen? Like he's had an 11-point week and a 7-point week. He is not quarterback one where I drafted him for sure. Like he has not shown up like that at all. I mean, you want to talk about the reason this game was so close. If Josh Allen puts up 20 points, I blow this motherfucker out of the water. But Josh Allen dropped 7 like a fucking idiot.
I mean, Baltimore just came in and punched them in the mouth. I think you just got to write it off because, against Arizona and Jacksonville, he dropped 35 and 38 respectively.
Okay, so he's a front runner. When he plays bad teams, he can put up a decent score. But against 2 good teams, he has 18 points total against good teams. That's really fucking bad. Really fucking bad.
I also don't think you can really worry too much about the Miami one because they were so ahead so early that they were just running the ball. James Cook kept getting in the end zone. So no, I think it's just a one-off with Baltimore, in my opinion.
Okay,
right, you handle the worst day of my life.
Yeah, you just took a whooping from potentially the best team in the league. Old Logan Jackson's jet stream went and just pounded you. Lamar Jackson showed up. He was drafted highly for a reason, and this is why, to go out here and win matchups. James Conner is going to continue to be consistent. Jamar Chase has finally started to turn things around, actually underperformed his projection, but it really didn't matter because Nico Collins dropped 33 points on you, Alex. That could not have felt good watching that game, and I know you were watching that game.
Yep, we were watching it together. We were golfing together, and it sucked. It sucked.
Yep, not fun. On the other man, you had a couple people show up. You had George Pickens. He's been solid. Looking at like the results from your team, it's a little surprising that this math adds up to 107.
Well, look at those top 2 players. That's the answer right there.
23.4.
No, 17. I mean my quarterback Kyler.
No, I understand, but
okay.
The fact that you got 14 points from them combined, and then 27 points from your running backs and your quarterback, and still dropped 107. Hey, that's a small victory. You can ride home with that.
Fuck off.
Good job, buddy.
I'll give you your flowers in this regard. Whenever the last week's pod came out, we talked about how me and Logan's projections were really close. I think I was projected 1 less than him. And you said, man, I don't understand this. I think you could give Logan minus 15 and he would still hit that. And yeah, you were right. He blew me out. This is like 35. A college football game. Yeah. Obviously, Breece Hall dropping 4 yards total. And then Kyler really dudded on me. You can't win games like that. Those players are too important.
Golly, your Carson Steele wad blow is just looking crazier by the week.
Oh, man. That might go down as one of the worst. It may be Logan had one insane one. Damn it. It was a couple
I have one in my past. When Will Fuller had that 56-point game, I think I dropped 60 on him. And he didn't do shit the rest of the year. So it's not the first time this has ever happened. But I said on the podcast before those waivers hit, man, I wouldn't spend more than $15 on this cat. It's going to be halfback dives and nothing else. And -4.
Yeah. Well, thank God I didn't start him, but agreed. That was a mistake. How are we looking on time?
I was about to do that quietly and subtly and let you know. I was going to give you a 3, 2, 1, and then cut it.
We'll go ahead and do it now.
Dickhead.
All right, don't call me a dickhead, bitch. You're the one that forgot the last 2 weeks who the lowest scorer was.
Brother, you have been so disorganized. Fuck off. I've been put together the schedule all 3 weeks now.
We would look like fools if we went with your lowest scorer. I saved face.
Saved face. Is that what happened last week during lowest scorer? Huh? When you tried to make that shitty joke about CJ?
What was my joke?
I don't know, but you bungled it.
No, that was pretty funny. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. No, you're the one that... Okay, we'll move on. So we are going to bring in a special guest since Justin and I play each other this week. Welcome to the pod, our 4-0 Logie Barnes.
Hello, darkness. Okay.
I've come to talk with you again. This wasn't planned, Logan. You can.
Yeah. All right.
I
Thanks
think
for having me.
yeah, I think the people missed the
Yeah.
sound, Logan, and I don't think you're going to get it this year.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. I'm riding high. I love this feeling. It's been a very, 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 very long time since I've had this feeling, if ever, to be number one seed. So, yeah, I'm riding high. I keep checking my fantasy like way too
All right, you're
often
here for a
now,
reason,
and-
bitch. Do your job.
Hey, he's having his little spiel. Pull it back.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Can a man be happy? Jeez, I've been so sad every fucking season. And now Austin knows how it feels, and Michael knows how it feels to have a real shitty
What about
team with
Alex?
injuries.
Doesn't Alex know how it feels?
Alex is 1-3 last season and won the whole thing. Don't you worry about Alex.
Yeah, Alex is
Now, Logan, how do you feel about CJ wanting to quit the league being 2-2 with everything you've been through?
That makes me very upset. And it's like, come on, like you've won fucking 2 games. I mean, I would feel like if I'm fucking Austin right now, yeah, I'd maybe want to quit. But this is only 1 year. I've dealt with it for multiple years.
Yes, you
For
have.
sure.
So yeah.
I just switched my calendar today, and I see you giving the Guac 3000 to that jack-o'-lantern man.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened and how I got into that position, but I
Well,
think that was
you
one of
did
the
it.
last months going through because we started with January, and I think I was just like exhausted and blacked out. So yeah.
All right. Well, we brought you on to review our matchups, so go ahead and take it away, Justin versus myself, the battle of the podcast hosts.
All right. So I'm going to go down, kind of starting at the top. I like leaning between Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. Josh Allen, obviously. But I think Kyler Murray, I mean, they can just kind of have it's either 3 and out or they just fucking throw down the field and they just score out of nowhere. Like
It is the San Francisco defense for Kyler Murray. Keep that in mind.
Sure, but I don't think their secondary is good. Like their secondary is Warner, and I don't think their corners are that good. I think it's more of like their what's up front. And I think he scrambled to test those guys. Jonathan Taylor, this ankle sprain is kind of scaring me. Obviously, I don't think he's going on IR, but I mean it's the same injury he had last year. I mean it's a mild low ankle sprain, but I think he may sit this week, and so I'm leaning. I think it's going to be a bounce back for Breece Hall, hopefully. And let me tell you, it was hilarious when we were golfing together, and every 7 minutes, it sounded like Austin saying, "God damn it, Breece Hall, do something!" And it was a treat.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Anyways, Aaron Jones is very consistent. Swift, that was an accidental not start by Justin, or
That's
start by
felonious.
Justin. He was good. Is that not true, Justin?
That's felonious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Maybe y'all can talk about it a little more. But
Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's funny.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh fuck, I started Swift," and he was gonna start Xavier Worthy. I think. He probably barely would have scratched 115, right? So.
He would have lost.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on. Stephon, Brandon Ayuk is doo-doo. So Stephon leaning that way. Drake London, George Pickens, kind of a toss-up between them two. I think it's an even slate. I think McBride, I mean, if he can pass, I think he was leaning right, like, to play this weekend. So,
He should, yeah.
Mike Evans. Let's see. Jordan Whittington in your second flex spot is gross. Yeah. The Longhorn. How dare you? But he is not good. Fantasy.
I think he sells pot in Jamaica.
I laughed pretty hard when I saw the GIF of what Brandon sent, the overrated. It was pretty funny for Justin's team, and I still I think it is just a little overrated. So I am going to take Man of Steel.
Woo! Big. That's
Thank you,
huge.
Logie. Thank you. From our number 1 seed, he gives me his blessing. Thank you, sir. I'm going to deliver him this loss for you. Believe that.
And also, I've kind of noticed, other than week 1, obviously, but Justin is playing who I've played the week before, which I think is kind of funny. Like, I don't know if it's happened every week, but I've noticed that the past 3 weeks it's happened. That I played Michael last week. Yeah,
that's interesting. So who do you play? Who do you play this week?
I play
CJ.
Yes.
And Justin plays CJ next week.
Does he?
That's correct. I do.
Wow. Okay.
That's wild, huh?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're like number 1 seed, you start noticing like things a lot more and like more active.
You start paying attention, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy how that works out.
Yeah, I think if JT doesn't play, I win. I think if JT plays, I might get my ass whooped. We'll see. Any other commentating there, Justin?
No, I think we're ready to move on.
Okay. Logan, are you staying on or are you hopping off?
I'll probably hop off.
Sounds good.
Me, though.
Yeah, for
right.
sure. See you soon, pal.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Always stunning analysis from Logan. He was also operating a motor vehicle during that entire time, everybody. So that was incredibly reckless.
Not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Okay, take our next matchup.
All right, so I am looking at Trenton versus Josh. A big matchup this week. Boy, oh boy, does Josh have a big projection. So I'll kind of follow the same format that Logan just laid out for us. I do like the matchup of Patrick Mahomes against New Orleans. Like, these are two good defenses, but Dak Prescott against that Pittsburgh defense, I don't know. Makes me a little nervous. I think they'll probably both hover around the 25-point mark. Should be pretty much a wash there. Here's where you start to see some separation. Alvin Kamara and Jordan Mason are going to shit all over Austin Eckler plus Chuba Hubbard, and he's hoping Austin Eckler plays. Like, that's kind of where Trenton is right now. Let's see. Let's take a look at a bench and see if there's any. Oh, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is on bye. So Josh
Pollard's on bye. So he's dealing with some bye problems this week.
For sure.
140 is a gnarly projection.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping to make a couple trades, see if I can't work my way up that high. I don't know. It's going to be a stretch. Like, that is until we get to the end of the year and teams are start getting desperate, thinking about like Sacco and playoff matchups, you typically don't see matchups quite this high. But boy, oh boy, does Josh have a couple of guys we did not see coming as just absolute workhorses on this team. You move down to wide receivers. I mean, I am taking CeeDee Lamb and Deontay Johnson over Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors popping their pussies. At tight end, I think it's pretty much a wash. Jake Ferguson's averaging more points, but it's any given game, Isaiah Likely and Jake Ferguson are the same fucking dude. Josh, again, has a massive advantage at the flex spot. Devontae Adams, Kenneth Walker. I mean,
Devontae plays. I don't think Devontae plays, but
who gives a shit? If Devontae doesn't play, he just
then
slips Darnell Mooney in, whatever.
And he's still fine.
Cares.
Yeah.
Man, Josh has a wagon. I will be taking him this week.
Same, like you mentioned, Trenton's only hope is for those rookies to pop their pussies. Mahomes has been overrated so far this year. He's underperformed. What position quarterback do you think he is on the year? Is that looking?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, is he still a quarterback 1 or is he falling out of that territory?
He's out of that territory.
Ooh, yikes. That's not good.
He's quarterback 16. So for that draft capital, you're not too happy. And then the other one I'll give you without looking top of your head, what wide receiver do you think Neighbors is on the year?
Gotta be awfully high. 3?
1.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
1. And we gave him so much shit. Fucking wide receiver 1. So, anyways, yes, I think Josh is going to absolutely steamroll this man, which thank God Trenton needs a loss. 4-0 is ridiculous for this team. But we'll see if he can do it. Okay, I'll take the next one. We're doing the Brandon 1-3 versus Nathan Groover, also 1-3. Projections are tight. Neither one are impressive. Brandon has the 113, Nathan with the 116. CJ Stroud versus Buffalo. Lamar's had a nice little day against them, but before that, I don't think it's been that easy to pass on Buffalo. So we'll see. Houston seemed to struggle against decent teams. And then down the board, Derrick Henry will probably continue to be great. Kyron is really their only weapon, so they'll have to just throw to him a million times. And then it gets pretty gross. If I told you that he was having to start Travis Kelce and Cole Kmet, would you?
Yikes. Okay, so Brandon's going to be working the waivers this week, I would imagine.
Yeah, he has to be. Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys that's dropping heavy coin. On the other end, I actually like Nathan's wide receivers. I like the Pittman, Godwin, Jefferson stack. Not stack, but lineup, especially if AR is out. That would be huge for Pittman. Having to start Gesicki is not great, but to be fair, everyone's tight ends are kind of shit in the bed. Like I said earlier, you're hoping that Kelsey's the biggest benefactor from Rashee Rice being injured. So I'm going to take the team that's not starting two tight ends. That feels natural to me. But I do think that this team will be adjusted after tomorrow's waivers.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. I mean, if nothing else but for Brock Purdy against Arizona should be a huge game, even down a couple weapons. Joe Mixon should have a bounce back. Justice Hill's been a treat. I just think overall, Nathan's got a better team than 116 would lead you to believe. But
Purdy could very well eat against Arizona.
It's got to be nice. I mean, talk about positional hell. Sam Laporta's on bye. That makes Mike Gesicki an easier start. So, yeah, give me Nathan here. And then I will go ahead and get us kickstarted with good God. So we are looking at the currently projected for 96.1.
Versus on bye.
Jaden, my way downtown. Yes, of course. His quarterback is on bye. He's going to have to fix that regardless. So it's difficult. Who knows who he's going to go get? Maybe he drops a bunch of money on Justin Fields. We'll kind of just pencil a guy in like that. I still don't like Joe Burrow against Baltimore. So, don't consider that a check mark on Matt's side. But Matt is trotting out a two-headed monster of the Robinson twins. So probably looking forward to some good matchups there, Tampa Bay and Cleveland. Cleveland's supposed to have a stingy defense. They have not been that so far this year. Let's see. I think if you're looking for upside, you're still staying with Matt. Like even when Chris gets a quarterback in this lineup, it's probably going to take him over this 111 projection that Matt has. I don't know what he's going to do to lead me to believe he's going to beat Matt. Like I'm going to take Matt, even knowing as soon as Justin Fields is on this team, he's going to be projected for 116. I think I'm still going to take Matt here.
Yeah, I think I have to as well. I don't understand how Devon Achane is projected 16.2. I mean, has he gotten anywhere close to that since 2 has been out? No, 8.8 and 5.9. So that's an over projection to me. Ramondre last 2 weeks were brutal. So we'll see if he can get it together. But I have a feeling that I would bet the under on this game, even if it comes out at a 38-point line. The Dolphins Miami game, or sorry, Dolphins Patriots game. And then you're having to trot out both Debo and Jawan Jennings again. So it's just not great. And God, Mark Andrews is projected 5.6. You can't start him. You just can't. Well, I'd rather throw out Tyler Conklin, dude. I mean, seriously, you cannot start Mark Andrews. I would honestly drop him, see if just someone burns fab on him. But you cannot start that man.
How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, so we're both on Matt's side.
Yeah, have to be. Okay, next matchup, I'm going to take Michael Brown versus Austin, 105. God, all these teams are projected so low. Yeah. Why can't I play one of these guys? It's bullshit. Now, Michael does have Amon-Ra on bye. It looks like he hasn't plugged anybody in yet. And he does not have anyone to plug. So I'm starting to think that Wicks 20-point line, I'm guessing the over at this point, just with how needy some of these teams are. Geno against the Giants should be fine. Josh Jacobs, Najee should be okay, especially if Warren's still out. T. Higgins against Baltimore, I don't know. And on the other side, Austin's team, Jaden Daniels projected a very respectable 25. Amari, Terry. I mean, this is a tough one. He's got Kareem Hunt in there, which That might work out well for him. Definitely a better spin than Carson Steele was. I think. Give me Austin. Austin's getting his first win this week.
You and I are on the same exact fucking page. Back to back, I think I'm going to take who I would consider to be the underdog. Now, Michael may pick up somebody off waivers projected for 10, take him over this 113.5 for Austin. I don't think it's going to matter. I think I look at Austin's team and I just would much rather, with Amon-Ra on bye, obviously. That's the big X factor here. Give me Austin. Give me Austin every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Oh, let's do it, Austin. Go get your dub. Go get your dub.
All right.
And then close us out.
Closing us out with not supposed to be a close game, but boy, oh boy, is there bad blood between these two teams. I'm looking at Logan's Jackson's Jet Stream against CJ's Hard Knocks. 120.
Are they rivals?
I don't know if they're rivals, but
we need to listen to the rivals because we've done a terrible job commentating on that.
Well,
job.
CJ's done a terrible job commissioning rivalry weeks.
You could actually just end that sentence with CJ's done a terrible job commissioning, period.
It's not his best year. I'll give you that. Hasn't been his best year.
Yeah, he's got stuff going on.
This week, we have, let's just go down the list here. We've got Lamar Jackson, Travis Etienne, James Conner, Jamar Chase, Nico Collins against Jordan Love, Rashad White, James Cook, Zay Flowers, and a broken Tyreek Hill. This game really shouldn't be as close as it even looks like. 128 to 114 is what the projection looks like. Shit, I'd even take Brian Thomas Jr. when on the other side of the fence. You're looking at Romeo Doubs and Bucky Irving are in the starting lineup here.
He's starting both Tampa Bay running backs. We've been talking about it, and he's doing it. Ugh.
What choice do you have? I mean, he might as well trot Baker Mayfield out there and make it a fucking field day with them going against Atlanta. I mean, sure, in division, it would probably be the stupidest thing, but you could do worse. Gosh, it doesn't look close on paper. If you're looking at this in the box score, the only place where CJ has a check mark is James Cook against James Conner. Give me Logan. Give me Logan going 5-0.
I'm gonna steal the words out of your mouth from last week. I think I could give Logan a -15 projection, which he pretty much has. I'll even make it better. I'll give Logan a -20, and I would take Logan to cover.
So we are projecting that Logan is the only undefeated team after this year or this week.
Based off the predictions, yes. Now, and you still have not tallied up our predictions, correct?
I have not. No, you weren't supposed to mention that.
Have you even continued to keep track of who picked who?
I haven't continued to do that. My battle plan, because Logan brought it up this weekend, my battle plan was to go back and listen to our previous episodes, and I got home 10 minutes before we started recording, did not have time to do it today. I can assure you, by week 5, I will have our predictions calculated. How do you think you've done so far?
I imagine you and I are probably about neck and neck.
Yeah, we haven't had too many differences. But hey, that wraps up our predictions for week 4 or for week 5.
Okay.
This is going to tell a lot of people a lot about their teams this week.
This is a big week. There's a big difference, huge difference between 1-4 and 2-3. And obviously you don't have to be worried about that, but there's about half the league that is. So that will start to kind of separate things and see what direction we're going in. But anyways, as always, great time, Justin. Everybody, good luck. Peace out.
Luck, everybody.